Welcome to my channel. I'm Rain, and this is a little intro video to tell you who I am and what this channel is all about. I'm one of those ADHD flavored nerd types who likes trying new things and playing with new tools and toys. Like many of you, I often get some fascination lodged in my brain and I just gotta keep working on it until I figure it out. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I fail, but my main focus has always been trying, learning, and sharing what I've learned with others. I have a background in theater with a master's of fine arts in technical theater and set design. I worked at a few theaters, building and designing sets and props for shows, after which my main focus switched to teaching in an academic setting. I was a professor at 2 colleges, and while I loved it, there wasn't a ton of work in academia, and I found myself in need of a career change. I'd already been making costumes, specifically fursuits, as a hobby, even selling a few at that point. I decided to dive fully into that work. Though the Fuzz Factory was named in 2011, it was 2014 that I switched to making costumes full-time. As of now, in early 2026, I've made 131 fursuits, with Pillow the Armadillo being the latest. Through the years, I've made a lot of unique species and styles with a love of bringing people's characters to life. You can see my love for cartoon animation in my style. I tend to thrive on projects with unique challenges, and Pillow was a perfect example of that, which segues into my more recent obsession, integrating technology into my projects. Around 2020, we were all stuck in our home for some reason, and I started to get really into new technology as a creative outlet. I learned to use Blender for VR chat, Procreate for painting, Nomad Sculpt for 3D modeling, and I started exploring 3D printing and weird manufacturing styles like casting, vacuum forming, and more. I found a ton of YouTube videos focusing on cosplay, making props, and I really wanted to try my hand at making things like that myself. While I always liked playing with style in my own costume work, I found myself wanting to push myself further away from my work and trying to mimic those of some of my favorite characters. I made a Mr. Wolf from the Bad Guys for the premiere and had such a fun time with that I had to make more things. I made props like the Golden Dolphin, fan art of games and shows like the Cobalt Core busts, masks for myself as a form of self-expression, and even more cosplay like Vortex here. I even have a web store with things that I designed, like pin boards, NFC tags, badge holders for conventions, and that kind of thing. Link in the description. So what is the Fuzz Academy? My goal is to keep exploring different methods, 3D printing practices, mold making, casting, modeling, and new, or at least new to me, technologies. I plan on making videos about my cosplay and the processes to make them, new technologies, sharing my failures and successes, interviewing other makers in the cosplay and furry fandoms, and more. I'm also always open to other video ideas, so feel free to comment down below if you have something you are wanting to learn about. I hope to try new things as they come out, like printers, software. I do hear Blender is coming out with an iPad version this year, and I'll definitely be making videos on that when it does. And techniques as I learn about them. I also do panels at cons and try to film them and edit those for the channel too. Finally, I plan on doing weekly stream on Tuesdays where I can explore making stuff in 3D on my iPad, right here on this channel. So that's it. If you like this kind of thing and want to support me, I'd love it if you subscribed and checked out my other videos. I also have a web store, so if you want a little merch or custom printed trinkets or baubles, check that out. It's a great way to support me. And finally, I have a Patreon where you can read about what I'm doing, see my little videos early, and suggest new things for me to work on. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope you stick around for more in the future. See you next time. Bye!